Good show today. Good show today. Just give me a minute. I'm doing something new. I kind of synchronized my YouTube channel with Rumble. So this is a little new. I'm trying to figure it out. So you're learning with me. I'm going to learn together. Maybe somebody give me something to talk about. So it's going to be a good show about choices. Every choice matters. And they do. Yeah, every choice matters. Welcome, everyone, to Patriot Nation TV. I'm your host, Tim Davis, a.k.a. Professor X, your New Age Patriot with a 1776 attitude. Just one man, one opinion, trying to make sense of it all in this bizarre world. And it's a bizarre world. Plenty to talk about. Current events, stuff like that. It is March 5th, 2020. March 5th, 2022. And it's just a continuation of 2020, right? Just different distraction. So let me start off by saying thank you for tuning in. If you're new to the show, thank you. Please hit subscribe so you get future notifications. And if you've been following, just tune in. It's going to be a good show. It's going to be good. So let's get it started, right? Let's get it started. Try to get this in under a half hour. I'm going to start by saying this. It's been like 3 days since I did a video. Just want to gather all the information you can instead of being quick to the draw and being part of the problem, not the solution. Corporate media, with beyond a reasonable doubt, is 100% the fourth branch of government. As I stated earlier in a previous video, that Obama's NDAA Act. So corporate media is the fourth branch of government. And it brings me to one word where I use caution. Just for everybody out there, just use caution when it comes to media. Because the media is not a reflection of reality. Nope. Let me repeat that. You got to use caution. Because the media is not a reflection of reality. It's not. The media is out there right now, pounding the drums of war, but denying how the West pushed Putin to this point. Why is Putin doing this? They're not saying why. Now they're sitting there saying he's crazy, he's a madman, and they want to declare Putin for war as a war criminal. They want to indict him. Should the U.S. declare him a war criminal? Then we got domestically, we got the buffoon in charge. Biden gave the State of the Union address beginning of the week. So this is a buffoonery, and I'm going to expose it. Things people aren't going to want to hear, but it's the truth. I'm going to hear it. So let's start off with Biden. What I'm going to do is I'm going to simplify the complex. Start off with Biden. Biden in the State of the Union speech. Biden, Joe, the Biden tyrant, this week in his world, in his America. I'm not going to really go too deep into the State of the Union. I'm just going to give my 2 cents of it. To me, it wasn't a State of the Union address. It was a global address. It was a state of a global address. He spoke as a globalist, not as an American. And your enemy is not Russia. It's not. Probably the last 5 minutes of his address, as painful as it may have been for that hour and 15 minutes, very painful. Sit there and watch. I'm sure you can relate to it if you watched it. He ended up doing what Joe Biden's been famous for. He plagiarized former President Donald Trump, Make America Great. You heard the ending of it. He was proposing all the Trump steals. So I'm going to give Biden a D- for his State of the Global speech. After, you see Nancy Pelosi doing this behind him like half the night. Like she was like a demon, right? It's like demonic, Linda Blair exorcist type stuff. Then you got Kamala Harris sitting back, all jammed up. You know, she'll. For those that don't know what jammed up is, like you didn't live in the 80s. Anyway, it was just horrible. So I give him a D-, but it brings me to like when I see it, I just know Russia is not my enemy. It's not your enemy. Your enemy is not Russia. Contrary to what you hear, they're not. So when I hear the sirens in the background, it's 12 noon. Yeah, it's in the noon. It reminds me of a movie I watched it a couple of nights ago. It was pretty funny. Billy Madison, Adam Sandler. Remember at the end when he had to give his his take on life. When the moderator was like, after he gave his whole explanation, the moderator goes, after hearing Joe Biden when he spoke, reminds me of that scene. I'll probably put it in my description area. When he goes, what you have just said is the most insanely idiotic thing I've ever heard. At no point in your ramblings, incoherent response, were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room, everyone around the globe is now dumber for having to listen to you. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul. You guys remember that point in that movie? I'll put it down in my description panel. Complete failure as a leader. Then it brings us to Kamala Harris, just to show you what kind of buffoonery it is. Media says, "Oh, Biden gave a great speech, sounded strong, FDR-ish." Okay. Now you got VP Kamala Harris. She was asked to explain to Ukraine what's going on with the Ukraine crisis for people who don't understand what's going on. Right? VP. That's how she responds. I'm sure you all heard it, so I'm just going to do quick things on it. So this is how she explains it. The Ukraine is a country in Europe. It exists next to another country called Russia. Russia is a bigger country. Russia decided to invade a smaller country called Ukraine. So basically, that's wrong. Kamala Harris. That's the Vice President of the United States. With a condescending tone, actions. That's how she talks to you. Like an 8-year-old, 7-year-old. So I would consider her a buffoon, like Joe Biden, her boss. So if we're gonna use their type of logic and their type of thinking, a buffoonery, let's think about Russia's the Russian critical thinker. The Russian critical thinker 101. It's how they think, right? US and NATO is threatening us. They want war. Let's invade Ukraine to defend ourselves. Same logic. Break it all down. Why get into depth of what's really going on? That's why I say caution the media. It's not a reflection of reality. This is just in our own country alone just happened. Me, one man, one opinion. Personally, I see right through the BS. Like I would respect the media more if they just came out, with their suits and ties and looking straight ahead and the teleprompters and all the fancy gadgets. I'd prefer them if they came out, sat at the screen like this, and picked up their newspaper and say, "This is how I see it when they come out." And now it's time to cover and to go over all the carefully selected stories that have been chosen to manipulate your emotions and your thinking. Channel 2 New, I would respect them more if they just came out and did that, because it's so blatant, but people still want to deny it. So I'm going to talk about a couple things that you're not going to like. When I say you or you're in this show, it's just a generalization. The collective people, not the people tuning in, just the people out there. You're not going to like this, but Your outrage, your anger at Russia is not real. I'm going to prove it. Your outrage at Russia and anger at Russia is not real. It's a theater. It's a movie. It was put there by people who know you better than you know yourself. Algorithms, social media, social engineering, so on, Operation Mockingbird, paperclip, all of it. It was put there by people who know you better than you do know yourself. Think about it. There have been, I'm not even going to go history. I'm just going in the last 22 years. There have been dozens of wars with millions of casualties in the last 20 years. And he didn't care. He didn't care about any of them until you were told to, right? Tell me I'm wrong. The U.S., along with its NATO allies, but mainly the U.S., I'm going to say the U.S. by itself. I can give different stats, but I'm going to go on the U.S. stats. The U.S. has dropped at least 337,000 bombs in the last 20 years. And has bombed it. Has bombed countries such as Syria for 5 years, Yemen for 7 years, Somalia for 15 years, Iraq for 16 years, Pakistan for 18 years, Afghanistan for 21 years. We see the fiasco in Afghanistan, right? This Biden guy. But now, you guys all remain silent, but now all of a sudden you're with Ukraine. You care about Ukraine. Okay. All right. Exactly when the media tells you to. That's why. You care about it because the media is telling you to. Social media, Facebook, Instagram. That's athletes, actors. I'm going to talk about actors too in this little show. 12 minutes. All right. Just think about this. But not only, besides the bombing, we had a virus dumped on us like a bunch of lab rats, 2020. And I didn't see anyone pulling China goods off the shelves. Half the stuff we have is made in China, right? Nobody protested China because a virus came out of China. It was dumped on us like lab rats. Trump says something about it. You don't like Chinese people, you're racist, you're a bigot, right? The Chinese virus, blah, blah, blah. Close the border, we don't know what's coming in, blah, blah. Racist, right? And we didn't pull any of their goods off our shelves or boycott them or put sanctions on them. But now here we see the stupidity of people who just follow along, who own bars, restaurants, whatever it is, as a New York Post posted, Russian vodka is being pulled off the shelves in U.S. and Canada bars, liquor stores. Every small thing makes a difference. They bought into the BS. That Russian alcohol you bought was already bought and paid for. Everything's profit, but you're stupid enough to follow the mainstream media and pour it out while your government's still doing business with oil. Really? You just watched this government shut down small business for almost 2 years. Really? Okay. All right. Everything you see on TV is scripted. It's a scripted performance with the purpose of shaping your world, your worldview to benefit the powerful interest running the show. Hence, Operation Mockingbird. I did a video on that long time ago. I'll post it. Let me see. Over here by George. Post it over here. It's the end of this show. So Operation Mockingbird is not a conspiracy theory. It's not. They claimed it for years, decades. Just look at it right now. Just like that. Poof. Everyone's starting to believe the media again. They just sold you a bill of goods in 2020 with COVID. So let's get to Putin, Russia, Zelensky. Like I said, I'm not rooting for Putin. I have no dog in the fight, except for my liberty here in America. But ask yourself, Let me tell you, I'm gonna say propose a question. Let you see what you say. You don't have to be pro-Russian or pro-Russia to recognize this propaganda. You don't have to be. Ask yourself why. Why are they so intent on getting you emotionally involved? We hear terms of Holocaust. They're bringing in a narrative that doesn't even belong in it. You're talking about, why? Because Zelensky's Jewish. Okay, there's a lot of Ukrainian Jews, but it has nothing to do with the Holocaust. They're not persecuting. Like, I don't want to get into the history of it. Some stick on what I would stick to. I just want to point out that the CIA overthrew Ukrainian government in 2014. They did. We did it. It's okay when we do it, right? Pre-2013, Ukrainians were not pro-NATO. 2014 came along. The Obama-Biden administration and the U.S. State Department coup d'etat, they installed a pro-NATO puppet government. Here we are in 2022. Let's see what's going on. Like I said, I'm not rooting for Putin. I'm not. But I am rooting against everyone you see on the mainstream media and these propaganda. I mean, they all turned like they're all war. Like sanctions are war. So I'm rooting against the people that are promoting this. I'm not rooting for Putin. I think it's Putin versus the New World Order, the deep state, the Great Reset. I will say this: I don't think Putin. Putin is not crazy, and the Russian invasion is not failing. The West's delusions about this war, using their propaganda and its lies, is not going to work. People woke up to it. So why should we really worry about all this? Because there's going to be no nuclear. Why should we worry about this? It's a bigger picture. It's I don't want to spend a lot of time on it because there's too much stuff out there, and I could do a 2-hour show on just that topic alone. Basically, what it is, it's the Great Reset. The West is losing power. It's the Great Reset. Basically, if in layman terms, since we're using Kamala Harris's analogies on things and Russia 101 logic, somebody use layman terms. You'll own nothing, and you'll be happy owning nothing. That's the Great Reset. The Great Reset is not a conspiracy theory anymore. The World Economic Forum website reveals its agenda. You can look it up yourself. The World Economics Forum, the website, reveals the whole agenda. The Great Reset. If only you could read. It's up to you. Only if you could read. If only you cared, right? If only you cared. It's right there for you. So, how am I going to say this? This war that we see, the war between the Rothschild. This war is between the Rothschilds, banking mafia, aka the New World Order, and Putin. That's what it is. It's Putin versus the New World Order. Ukraine is just a tool they use to instigate it. It's a fact, folks. That brings me to what I said previously many times. You've heard many people say it. The enemy of my enemy is my friend. Right? That's why I always say to people, keep your eyes on the ball. Got to keep your eyes on the ball. So what we're seeing right now with the media is just so. I'm so disappointed. I'm not disappointed. It's expected, but it's like a theater. We're in a movie. We're in like a drive-in theater for those people grew up 70s, 80s, maybe 90s. You had drive-in theaters, go to your car, speakers, or radio. It was great, right? So that's what we're seeing right now. We're in a drive-in theater to make it more realistic. It's theater. I mentioned some of the actors, the crisis actors earlier, with Biden, Kamala Harris, Nancy Pelosi, the demonic Nancy Pelosi. Here's another one. Maybe this is the 14-day curve of the Great Reset. What are we on? Day 10, day 11 of this war. So there's another key player, Fauci. Dr. Anthony Fauci. He went missing. Where is he? Fauci, have you seen this man anywhere? If you have, contact the FBI, CDC, Homeland Security. Contact somebody, because the man just went missing. Nobody's seen him since this wag the dog scenario took off. So, let's talk a little bit about this great reset. As Rahm Emanuel famously stated, and I'll remind you, you never let a serious crisis go to waste. And what I mean by that, it's an opportunity to do things you think you could not do before. Rahm Emanuel. And if you still don't, they're so blatant right in our face. You can take a guy like Henry Kissinger. He's probably like the grand poobah of this New World Order. Plenty of videos. I'll put some in the description area too of him, other leaders talking about the New World Order. And so Henry Kissinger is famously known for saying this: who controls the food supply controls the people. Who controls the energy can control the whole continent. Who controls money controls the world. The New World Order. And he also says, out of chaos will come order, a new world order. Henry Kissinger, famous quotes. That's why I said I'm just trying to simplify the complex things of people for people. One man, one opinion. Trying to connect the dots, make sense of it all. This brings me to his quote: controls the food, controls the people. A strain on food supplies. Ukraine and Russia account for 30% of the world's exports of wheat, 19% of corn, 80% of sunflower oil, which is used in food processing. Much of the Russian and Ukrainian bounty goes to poor, unstable countries like Yemen and Libya. The threat to farms in eastern Ukraine and to cut off exports through the Black Sea ports could reduce food supplies, just when prices are at the highest level since 2011. And some countries are suffering from food shortages. Pretty soon it's going to be America too, right? Wheat, corn, oils, barley, flour are extremely important to food security, especially in the poorer parts of the world. With ports, airports, rail lines closed, and young Ukrainian men fighting the Russian invasion, who's going to do the harvesting? Who's going to be doing the transportation? Right? Destroy every economy that you can. The food supply. Just simplifying it, folks. Then you got, they will, 100%. But I'm talking about the sanctions. They will use finances to take full control of your life, my life. Don't believe it? Just look at Canada. Trudeau seized the means of production of the trucking convoy, took the trucks away, froze their bank accounts, took their earnings away, made them criminals. So they will use finances to take full control. They will. It's going to happen to us in America because we are complacent, want to believe in government. And governments around the world are going to become more vicious with anyone who disagrees with their master plan, the Great Reset. That's what this is all about, the Great Reset. It really is. Here in America, our federal government is using the Federal Reserve, private organization, and our finances to take control and transform our nation as America away from capitalism. That's what's happening. And Russia's not playing along. China's not playing along. And so on and so on. So my take on this is, as a patriot, as an American, or believe in God, I'm a constitutional conservative, God, family, country, in that order. Resistance to tyranny does come with consequences. Get shadow banned on YouTube, kicked off Facebook, whatever it is. Yes, so resistance to tyranny does come with consequences, but so does submission. You as an individual, not the collective, choose your consequences. tyranny or totalitarianism? 1984 or A Brave New World? Another video I did. I'll post it behind you. I'll post it behind George. Or the other one. Me personally, one man, one opinion. I personally think this war is far beyond what anyone thinks, what the mainstream media is leading you to believe, especially considering the majority of the Ukraine people, government, of a far left-leaning following. They believe in a utopia. It's just my opinion. I don't think there is any possibility of peace since this started. I don't. Putin's taking the world, liberal New World Order. He's taking on the liberal New World Order. He's taking them on, along with China, Brazil, India, who half-heartedly are supporting him. I believe the crazy leadership in the West are so blinded by their evil egos, they will absolutely continue to try to destroy Russia even after peace. Russia knows this. Russia knows this. Putin knows this. For the last 14 years, France announced that they intended to 100% destroy the Russian economy versus in a do or die battle. They're pinned. Dangerous. Rabbit. They are in a do or die battle, and Russia knows no matter what, destruction is upon them when they lose. They will go down fighting on their terms, on their own terms. Not the Western's terms, not the Western media, on their terms. This is where the world, the liberal world order, New World Order, is openly shooting themselves in the foot. They think they are playing chess and can win. Russia has long left the chess match long ago. Putin knows the global propaganda machine is completely against him. From his point of view, he's doing what any sensible person or leader would do. He's making sure all weapons at his disposal are ready to go. A nuclear war wouldn't benefit Russia any more than it would benefit anybody else. It wouldn't. Putin ain't looking for nuclear war. But NATO needs to be reminded, just like the Tree of Liberty needs to be reminded, that he has them and assured that if they do their worst, he will do his worst. Choices matter. Right? So I'm going to try to end this up here. I'm on at 27 minutes, see if I can get it done in 10. Okay, so basically this is basically going about these career politicians, these career actors, and is it acting for you? Are you buying into the BS? Speaking of career politicians, let's get to this guy, Zelensky. I'm not going to badmouth him because you know what? He is heroic. He is doing the right thing, I guess, right? Representing his country. He has a lot of guts. I'm not out in me personally, I'm not in the streets fighting my government for an overthrow. As of now. I'm not being provoked into choosing my government, but I really am, but I'm not. So let's get to Zelensky. I don't really know too much about him, except for the fact that he's he's younger than me. He's younger than me. He spent his whole life as an entertainer. He's an actor. He's a comedian. But he got guts. Good for you. Got guts. But you're an actor. I gotta go by the evidence in front of me. Like from I gotta go by the evidence. Your profession is an actor. You live in an alternate reality, and you're just playing a role. And this is, it's kind of dangerous. I'm going to explain, to you why it's dangerous. I think that Zelensky should be removed by his own government to negotiate peace with Russia. He should be removed. He can't negotiate peace. See, Zelensky, you got to look at the mind of the tyrant. The tyrants or tyrant, Biden, whatever you want, Putin, whoever you want to talk about. So Zelensky, he himself sees himself as a hero in his own play, in his own movie, right? So he has nothing to lose if he lives or dies. Either way, he's going to be. His historical reference. He's going to be a hero, regardless, win or lose, lives or dies. It's already set, and he knows this. Actors starve for attention. They want to be relevant. we see in America, with our own actors. So he's an actor, pretty famous over in Europe. So he doesn't really care. This is what he wanted. Live or die, he's a hero. So he sees himself as a hero, and the media is playing along with it. He's just a puppet. As he's playing a hero in his country, and the West is promoting it, he's bringing more death and destruction upon his own nation. With that, nobody's going to break his attitude. You're weak. You're an actor. If I was Putin, I don't trust you. I think I can kick your ass. How's that? 50 years old, I'll kick your ass. Anyway, those are words of a madman as his nation burns. And Zelensky, he's trying to drag the entire world into his war. Because the 30 countries of NATO and stuff like that, they promised him all this stuff. And they broke the contract. So Zelensky's trying to drag the whole world into his war. After poking Russia, that bear, after poking Russia for years, all he had to do was declare Ukraine will not join NATO. No nukes aimed at Russia. He declares no NATO interference. He declared that there would have been no invasion, so many deaths. This is on Zelensky. This is on the West, the New World Order, the Great Reset. Their assault on us with the COVID-19 didn't work. It worked for a little while, but people woke up to it. Now they give us another distraction. Look at Zelensky, as brave as he is, but I look at Zelensky as a little chihuahua nipping at the heels. That little nipping at the heels of a pit bull and barking nonstop. Everyone sits and laughs at the chihuahua's actions. Right? Oh, look how brave he is. Oh, knowing he's going to get his ass kicked. Cheering on laughing at the chihuahua's actions, encouraging further antagonizing until the pit bull bites the chihuahua's head off. Right? Then everyone gets mad at the pit bull. Oh, he's a bully. Look. Oh. Great idea. Western leaders. Great idea, Zelensky, for following along, keep antagonizing. So much for democracy. Right? This is why I say we live in extraordinary times. Who is real? Who is fake? Who speaks the truth? Who speaks lies? Who do you trust? Who do you not trust? It's all up to you out there to decide. All right. So I'm going to end it with this. I'm going to quote it again. It's from Hermann Göring in his diaries at Nuremberg. It makes sense. Naturally, the common people do not want war. But after all, it is its leaders of a country who determine the policy. And it is always simple. It's always a simple matter to drag the people along, whether it is a democracy or a fascist dictatorship or parliament or a communist dictatorship. Voice or no voice, the people can always be brought to the bidding of its leaders. That's easy. All you have to do is tell them they are being attacked and denounce the pacifist for lack of patriotism and exposing the country to danger. That's how it works. It works that way in every other country. And this is Hermann Göring. So that's my little take on this in 35 minutes. So thanks for tuning in, folks. Like I said, if you're new to the show, please hit like, hit subscribe, notification bell for future shows. So I'm Tim Davis, a.k.a. Professor Rex from Patriot Nation TV, signing off, saying God bless you, and have a great day. Talk to you guys soon. Peace.